everybody, welcome to Colin's Creatures. This is a Kenyan sand boa, and I am at the Gettysburg Reptile Expo in Gettysburg, PA. I'm going to check out this show and see what other awesome animals I can find, just like this sand boa. Kenyan sand boas are a small species of snake from Africa, and they get their name because they live in the sand, and they're boas. And they don't actually do too much, but they are pretty cool, and they have a charm to them because of their looks.
It's not every day you see a hinge-back tortoise, especially four that aren't fully grown.
This is a yellow anaconda. They are a species of boa from South America in the countries like Paraguay, Bolivia, Uruguay, and Argentina. He bit me, but it's honestly not that bad. He barely got me. Anyways, they're not as big as the green anaconda, getting around 12 feet long at max, just still huge for a snake, but they're nowhere near as big as the green anaconda. And they're called yellow anaconda because of their yellowish coloration. Now this one's pretty dark. They typically are a little bit brighter, but they are still very cool snakes that you don't see too often. And because it's a very unique snake, the yellow anaconda is one of our featured creatures of the show.
This is a rhino rat snake, so named for their very unique nose.
This is a deadleaf mantis. This specific species of deadleaf mantis is from Southeast Asia, and they get their name because they look like a dead leaf, and they really do look like a dead leaf, as their wings and shield look like leaves, as well as a bit on their legs. This is around full size. Females are larger than the males, and they're a bit more robust than the males, as with all other mantis species. They, of course, eat insects like other mantises, and they're just really, really cool insects. And because this is such an interesting looking insect that has such a unique look, and it looks like a dead leaf, the deadleaf mantis is one of our featured creatures of the show.
This is a very cool looking boa, and it makes sense why it's not for sale.
This is a Burmese mountain tortoise, also known as an Asian forest tortoise. They're from Southeast Asia, and they're a fairly large species of tortoise. They live in higher elevations, and they have a pretty high stance as they get older. Their shells also get more domed as they get older, but since when they're young, they have a more flat shell, and they have very sharp, pointy claws, as well as having lots of little points on their shell. And this isn't a very common tortoise, as I don't see them too often, but they're very cool tortoises that I absolutely love seeing. And because they're such a unique animal, the Burmese mountain tortoise is one of our featured creatures of the show.
I really like how this crested gecko has a light-colored head and a black body.
This is a rough, thick-toed gecko. They are a small species of gecko from southern Africa, and they get their name because of their really cool-looking skin. The texture kind of reminds me, at least the look of it, reminds me of that of a durian fruit, because they're really spiky and they're just covered in these little spines that are actually very soft. And this is the first time I've ever seen this kind of gecko. It's really unique. And because this is a really cool lizard that just jumped down, but he's really cool looking, the rough, thick-toed gecko is one of our featured creatures of the show.
The girl who took this albino red-eared slider home named it Mustard, and I thought that was a great and unique name.
This is a tomato frog. Tomato frogs are actually a genus of frogs from Madagascar. There's 3 species in the genus that are known for their round body and red coloration. They actually range in colors, kind of like tomatoes, being from an orangey yellow to a very deep red. And I chose this one because he is quite red, and they will get bigger than this, and when they're threatened, they will puff up like a balloon, which this guy is kind of doing now, because it's a very cool and colorful frog. The tomato frog is one of our featured creatures of the show.
This interesting lizard is a reticulated water skink. It almost looks like a salamander.
This is a gelatin carpet python. This is actually a natural locality from Australia, and it's just super cool because it's gray. And I had a great time at the Gettysburg Reptile Expo. I saw lots of really awesome animals like this carpet python, and while I was bitten by my featured snake, it wasn't that bad, and it was still very entertaining to be here. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and I will see you on Colin's Creatures.